Today, we're going to talk about the tallest mountain on Earth. You might think that it's Mount Everest, which has a height of 29,028 feet above sea level. But did you know that there are other ways to measure the height of a mountain? Depending on how you do it, you might get a different answer. One way to measure the height of a mountain is by its base to peak height, which is the distance from the lowest point of its base to the highest point of its summit. This is different from the sea level height, which is the distance from the average level of the ocean surface to the summit. The problem with using sea level height is that it doesn't account for the shape of the Earth, which is not a perfect sphere, but rather a ball that is slightly squished on the top and bottom and slightly stretched on the sides. This means that sea level is not the same everywhere on Earth, and that some places are farther from the center of the Earth than others. So, if we use base to peak height instead of sea level height, which mountain would be the tallest? Well, it turns out that it's not Mount Everest, but Mauna Kea, a volcano on the island of Hawaii. Mauna Kea has a sea level height of only 13,795 feet, but its base to peak height is a whopping 30,610 feet. That's because most of Mauna Kea is underwater, as it rises from the floor of the Pacific Ocean. If you could lift Mauna Kea out of the water and place it next to Mount Everest, you would see that it's much taller. But wait, there's another way to measure the height of a mountain, by its distance from the center of the Earth. This is different from both sea level height and base to peak height, because it takes into account the curvature of the Earth and its uneven distribution of mass. As we said before, the Earth is not a perfect sphere, but rather a ball that is slightly squished on the top and bottom and slightly stretched on the sides. This means that points on the equator are farther from the center of the Earth than points on the poles. So, if we use distance from the center of the Earth instead of sea level height or base to peak height, which mountain would be the tallest? Well, it turns out that it's not Mount Everest or Mauna Kea, but Chimborazo, which is a volcano in Ecuador. Chimborazo has a sea level height of 20,548 feet and a base to peak height of 20,945 feet. But because it's located near the equator, where the Earth bulges outwards, its distance from the center of the Earth is 20,944,882 feet. That's about 2 kilometers more than Mount Everest's distance from the center of the Earth. So as you have it, depending on how you measure it, Mount Everest isn't always the tallest mountain on Earth. Sometimes it's Mauna Kea in Hawaii or Chimborazo in Ecuador. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more interesting and informative content. And don't forget to leave a comment below with your thoughts or questions about this topic. Thank you for watching this episode of Physical Facts. See you next time.